keep losing over and over? It's not because you're bad at game. You just haven't known the right way to play Grid of Change yet. Lucky for you, we've got the ultimate guide right here. Everything explained step by step. Everything from beginner basics to pro player in Grid of Change. Come on, your training starts now. Basic rules of Grid of Change. Every turn, you must place a piece in a position that surrounds your opponent's pieces between two of your own. Any enemy pieces trapped in a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal line will flip and become your color. If you have no possible move that can capture enemy pieces, your turn will be skipped automatically. If you miss your turn, the game will randomly place a move on your behalf. The match ends when the board is full, or when neither player can make a valid move anymore. Whoever controls the most pieces on the board at the end will win. So that's how to play. But what about how to win? Well, let's move on to basic strategies to win in Grid of Change. If you want to win in Grid of Change, you need to control as many corners as possible. Why? Let me explain. As you can see, a single piece can be captured from 8 different directions. So in this game, it's not just about capturing your opponent's pieces. You also need to protect your own pieces from getting captured. If your piece is placed anywhere inside the green area, it can potentially be captured from all 8 directions. But if your pieces are placed inside the yellow zone, they can only be captured from 2 directions. And once you take a corner, the dark blue zone, your piece becomes completely safe and can never be flipped. That's why you should always try to control all 4 corners of the board. So overall, the best strategy is simple. Take as many corners as possible. However, because corners are so powerful, your opponents will fight for them too. That means your job isn't just to capture corners, but also to stop your opponent from getting them. These purple zones are the most dangerous positions on the board. You should avoid placing pieces there whenever possible, because once you move into these zones, you may give your opponent the chance to capture the corn. So basically, that's the core strategy to win this game. Take corners and stop your opponent from taking them. Of course, this is only the beginner level. There are advanced strategies too, but we'll save those for another video. Right now, let's talk about something unique to Grid of Change: skills. The mechanic that can flip an entire game in seconds. Skills in Grid of Change. Grid of Change has many different skills, such as Charm lets you turn one enemy piece into your own. Order allows you to move one piece to any empty space. Swap lets you exchange the positions of 2 different colored pieces. Hammer destroys any piece on the board. And now, I'll show you the easiest and most effective ways to use these skills. Charm. Charm allows you to turn any one of your opponent's pieces into your own. And remember, corners are extremely important in this game. That's why one of the most common strategies is using Charm on an opponent's corner piece. But personally, I think a skill is only truly powerful when it helps you secure 2 corners at the same time. To understand what I mean, take a look at the example below. If you use Charm on the piece in the bottom left corner here, you can instantly capture the top left corner and take control of the entire left side. This is one of the most effective ways to use Charm. Whenever you see your opponent almost controlling the entire left edge, the entire right edge, the top row, the bottom row, or even a diagonal line, that's the perfect moment to use Charm. And to avoid getting countered the same way, try not to completely dominate these lines yourself, or your opponent may steal them back with Charm. For example, in this situation, your opponent could use Charm against you, so instead, you should keep the board looking like this. Now, even if your opponent uses Charm, they can only capture most of this edge instead of taking everything. And after that, you can use Charm to counterattack and take the advantage back. Hammer. Hammer allows you to destroy one of your opponent's pieces. And remember, corners are extremely important in this game. That's why one of the most common strategies is using Hammer to destroy an opponent's corner piece and reclaim that corner. However, be careful when using Hammer if you can't capture the corner immediately afterward. Sometimes you may destroy the corner piece, but still be unable to take the corner right away. And in that situation, your opponent can instantly take the corner back. But personally, I believe a skill is only truly powerful when it helps you secure 2 corners at the same time. To understand this, look at example below. In this match, you only need to destroy the bottom left piece with Hammer to capture every single piece on the board. So try to avoid situations where your opponent controls one corner while you take the rest of that edge. Order. Order allows you to move one piece to any empty position on the board. And remember, corners are extremely important in this game. That's why one of the most common strategies is using order to move your own piece into a corner, or move your opponent's corner piece away. Because it can reposition enemy pieces, order is often much stronger than hammer. But personally, I believe a skill is strongest when it helps you secure 2 corners at once. To understand better, look at this example below. You can use order to move the green piece to the top left corner position, and then capture the bottom left corner to control the entire side of the board. Besides that, you can also overwhelm your opponent with strategies like this. With this board setup, you're currently at a disadvantage. However, if you move your opponent's top piece down to this position, everything changes. Now you can capture the top edge edge and control one entire side. Then on the next turn, you can take another corner and secure another edge as well. To counter order, try your best not to leave both ends of an edge open. Swap. Swap allows you to exchange the positions of two pieces from different sides on the board. And remember, corners are extremely important in this game. That's why one of the most common strategies is using swap to move one of your pieces into a corner that your opponent previously captured. But personally, I believe a skill is strongest when it helps you secure two corners at once. To understand better, look at this example below. With this match, you will lose another corner to your opponent on the next turn. However, swap can completely change the situation by exchanging the piece near the corner with your opponent's corner piece. After that, you can capture the entire bottom edge before your opponent gets the chance. To counter swap, try to avoid letting board situations like this happen. This video is only part 1 of becoming a Grid of Change pro. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the next video, I'll guide you on how to master defensive skills.